If someone was to ask me what story, what bottom line script goes with my book, this story is it. It's the story of the little black dog, and it has so much meaning to it. Hurt people hurt people. Bottom line, it happens in life. But also, we are not victims of our circumstances. And on top of that, take responsibility for your attitude and your feelings in life and watch everything shift. Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Kathie Owen. I have been a certified fitness trainer and certified life coach since 2002. On this channel, we talk about fitness, having a growth mindset, healthy habits, and even some reality transurfing. Today, we're talking about an excerpt from my book, The Truth Bubbles Up, and what it means. Let's get into the episode. Back when I was in junior high school, as an awkward 12-year-old kid, I used to have to walk to school every day. And I lived in a privileged white middle class neighborhood, which meant that these kids were all having a ride to school. And I walked along this busy street. And yes, kids bullied me because I was walking. And yeah, it was very awkward. But I had a little bright spot because every morning, without fail, I had this little black dog meet me. And this dog would come out of nowhere, but he met me at the same corner every morning. And he greeted me with the wag of his tail and a smile of his face, and he walked with me for about 2 blocks. And then he'd go home. And the next morning he'd be there, and the next morning he'd be there. Well, one morning, it was a dreary, cloudy morning. And I'm walking, and here he comes, and he's greeting me and walking with me. And all of a sudden, he randomly decides to run out in the street. And a car hits him. My heart stops. I'm like, what happened? And the car drives off. He runs over to the side of the road towards me, and he's crying. And I'm like reaching out to help him. He tries to bite me. Of all things, he tries to bite me. And I don't have enough life experience to know that when a dog gets hurt, it's going to bite you, no matter how much it loves you. And so I'm traumatized because this car hit this dog in front of me, and I had to just decide what to do. I couldn't help him. So I walked to school. I thought to myself, I'm going to call my mom. She'll know what to do. So I walked to school and go to the office. Now, mind you, back in 1977, we did not have cell phones. So I had to go to the office and call my mom. And I'm trembling and crying in tears. I call her on the phone, and my nana was in town, and my mom really didn't understand what was going on. So I don't know. It was weird. It was very traumatic. I don't know what happened, but that afternoon, my mom picked me up from school, my mom and my nana, and we were driving back down the road, and I'm peering over the side of the car out my window to see if the dog was there. I think I saw a little black body laying there on the side by the corner where he met me, but I'm not 100% sure. I like to think what happened to that dog was he was so traumatized that he went home and got fixed by his family and was never seen again because I never saw him again. Is that sad? Absolutely. And this story is in my book, The Truth Bubbles Up, for a reason. And it's at the very beginning of the book because my mom read the book and she told me something. I was very worried that she was going to be hurt. And she probably was because she told me I could have done things different. But you know what? We all could say that. The whole story itself, everybody in the story could have done something different. But the way I look at things is everything happens for a reason. Because that story right there taught me when I was only 12 years old that I was in charge of the circumstances that happened in my life, whether they were good or bad. That dog getting hit by the car was horrible. It was traumatic and it's sad, but it happened for a reason. My mom not being there to help me as that young age, that happened for a reason because what I learned about myself was incredibly powerful. Because what's going to happen to us in life in general is we all have demons that we must battle in life. We have demons of jealousy, greed, anger, resentment, fear, jealousy. All of those things are demons that we must battle. It's how you combat them that makes all the difference in the world. And that is the truth that bubbles up. So do you battle those as a victim or do you battle those as a victimizer? That is a theory of psychology that Sherry taught me. The victim and the victimizer, the vicious circle. I talk about it all the time on my channel. I talk about it on my blog. And I do talk about it in the book because the lessons I learned from that, the victim or the victimizer, is what life is all about. Picture this. An argument takes place. Who is the bigger idiot? The victim or the victimizer? In any argument you ever witness, it is always the same. It's always the same vicious cycle. And guess what? It happens more inside of yourself than it does anywhere else. So what is the solution to that? The solution to that is to live in Victor. And Victor lives very much like Viktor Frankl explained to us in his book, Man's Search for Meaning, how we are responsible for the attitude that we choose, despite what's going on around us. Despite his family being killed right in front of him, he chose his attitude. That is what makes the difference in everything. That's what keeps you in flow. That's what keeps you in the zone. That's what keeps you going in times of trouble. Because what's going to happen in life? Life is not fair. There is going to be loss. There is going to be people that hurt you. Hurt people hurt people. So that little dog tried to bite me. He was hurt. He's symbolic of everything. We all get hurt. And what do we do when we hurt? We victimize those who hurt us. But there's a way out of it. That way out of that little incident is this. That little dog is now an angel in my mind. He's a guardian protector of me. I see that little dog in every dog I've ever had in my life, and every dog I love. I see that dog in people who have hurt me. I see that dog in people who victimize me, myself included. I see that dog in my mom, where she feels bad because she could have done something different. But don't you see that because she didn't do something different, she didn't protect me from what happens in life? And I'm so grateful for that. The reason why I'm grateful for that is because I don't look at things like everybody else. I notice that. I'm not a victim of what happens to me. I'm not a victim of my circumstances. And that is what I've learned through my whole journey, because I go on this journey that's full of trauma, loss, being bullied, being victimized over and over and over again. But I still come back and I say, what's next? And I do. And I invite you to do the same. All right, that's my episode for today. I hope you liked it. It's a little bit different than I usually do. So please, if you know someone who can benefit from this, please share it with them. And until next time, I'll see you next time. Peace out and namaste.